Hi, it's James here for MoDaCo, and we're here at the LG G3 launch, and what you've got here in front of you is the LG G3. So let's have a little look. We've only had a few minutes to play with it, so this is a journey of exploration for all of us. What we have here is the gold model. You see pictures of the white one, and I'll try and get a picture of the black one once it quietens down in here a bit. This is the gold one. It's really nice, the gold. As you all know, I'm a bit of a fan of gold, but you know, this is good. So let's take a little look around the device. First of all, we're on the back, so let's talk about the back. We've got the back buttons, really nice texture to the volume up and down now, a little bit more texture. You can totally feel where they are with your finger, which is great. Power button is kind of a gloss finish and it has a little point on it. It's nice actually, I like what they've done with that. 13 megapixel optically image stabilized camera there. They call it OIS Plus. We've got a dual tone LED flash, laser autofocusing. I mean lasers. That's all you really need to know, isn't it? Now this is a Korean model, so we have possibly the coolest thing ever, which is a TV aerial. That won't be coming to the UK, unfortunately, and we don't know if there'll be a stylus or anything. If we look around the rest of the device, nothing on the sides. It's really slim profile. Looks like an IR blaster on the top, and you've got headphone socket, charging port on the bottom. So pretty standard sort of layout. Speaker on the back, little notch there for removing the back, which I can't do with this device attached to it, and I can't remove that. But if we get a chance to show you that, we will. So let's talk about the device. So we've got on the front here 5.5 inch QHD, that's uppercase Q HD screen, which LG are talking about a lot. And just like the G2, it's got the knock-on, so I just double tap knock-on, and it's got knock code. It's going to talk me through it. If you set up a code, it won't actually tell people how to unlock your phone for you, which would be nice. And this is running some sort of special build with demo software, so it's a little bit annoying to get into it, but we're into it now, and this is the launcher. And we can see as we swipe through, I mean, it's pretty snappy, no problems there. The screen is absolutely gorgeous. Whether it's noticeably better than the G2 or not, we'd have to spend more time outside of the showroom floor to be able to give you an answer. What I can tell you is the bezels do look a little bit wider than the G2. Unfortunately, I don't have a G2 here to test it with, but they do look a little bit wider than the G2. On the sides, top and bottom, very, very slim. Really like this splash of colour, especially on the front here, especially with the screen on. So LG have been a bit guilty of skinning Android in quite a bad way, or at least a lot of people think oh, I never had a major problem with it myself. Here we've got their new skin, which is much flatter. It's quite nice, lots of little apps going on here. So this is the LG Health app that's not totally dissimilar to S Health that Samsung are supplying on their Galaxy S5. And we can go through, it kind of rotates around the home screens. We're pinched to overlay, and we can add more screens on. Let's see if there's a maximum. There is a maximum. The maximum is 8, so that's fine. Notifications. So unfortunately, LG are still guilty of showing too much stuff, in my opinion, in the notification drawer. We've got quick settings here, which are useful. I'm not saying they're not useful, but I'd rather have them on the flip side and use 2 fingers to pull down to get there, or have a button to flip round, than have them there all the time. We'll see if we can switch that off. We've got brightness control, which obviously set up very high in here. It's very, very bright lights in here, so you need that. And volume. We've again got 2 settings buttons, so that's a bit of a shame. That's really confusing. It's a little bit better now, and that one looks a bit more like the autofocus button, but still, auto brightness button, but still not overly pleased with that. Not much room left for your notifications. This is a 5.5 inch device, don't forget, and we're going only half of it for notifications. Quick look at the settings menu. It's a tabbed view as before. We can switch to a list view. Tell you what that means. We'll have a quick look through. Let's go back to the tab view, because that is the default that LG are providing, and the tabs are similar to what we have on the software, the KitKat build for the G2. Network, sound, display, general. It'll be interesting to see if they've got. So we've got, first of all, the touch buttons down here. You can see that we've got back home and a task switch button. That's great. No menu button down there, which is fantastic. There's not even an option to add a menu button, so that's a brilliant improvement. Well done, LG, on that one. Let's go back and we can hide them. There you go, so that's interesting. We'll have to play with that another time. You can change whether it's transparent background or not. I'm looking now for, we've got notification LED, which must be at the top here somewhere. All the usual kind of things. Smart screen, which detects when you're looking at the screen and keeps it on. Different screen TV off effects, so they're still putting quite a lot of kind of weird bloat on here, like they had with the G2 software, where do you really need 3 different options for how the screen switches off? I'm not convinced you do. Daydream, so nothing about the notification screen there. You can see other various options there. Let's see if there's anything. What I'm trying to do is get rid of those or customize those. Oh, we've got an edit button here, so we can see which ones are on option on offer there. Quite a few. It's a bit disappointing that you can't kind of get rid of that, put it behind on the other side of the notification pull down like you can in stock Android. Normal sort of settings though here. This is looking quite attractive. I don't think this is particularly unattractive at all. Settings for the quick circle case, etc, usual sort of thing. Let's go into the about. So we can see that it's running Android 4.4.2. As I say, this is the Korean version because of the TV aerial in the top. As much as I want that TV aerial, I'm not going to get it in the UK. But good to see it's running Android 4.4.2. Not much else of interest to see in there. What you will notice is the device has some nice animations, nice transitions, and is snappy. There's absolutely no question about that. Various different network options. So you can see different share and connects. We've got NFC on board and various other options like Miracast, for instance, that we've seen before from LG. So let's quick look at the settings. Let's have a look at the app drawer here. So it's quite a nice dense layout, and they've gone 5 across on the icons, which is good. And we'll see some Korean icons here, and quite a lot of stuff on this Korean model. Don't know what's going to be on the UK model specifically. See widgets is a separate tab. So if we long press on the launcher, we go into a slightly altered view here. This is reminiscent of what Sony are doing actually, where you can, let's have a look to see what we can do. So there is a room on there, we've got loads of spare space, so I can add that. Can I do anything with it? Oh, it says things in Korean. I don't understand Korean, so that could be a bit of an issue. Interesting. But that looks really nice, really pleased with that. Very nice to see that. Let's have a look at some of the wallpapers. Got any cool live wallpapers? No. So it's going to try and go to the Play Store. Interesting. But we can... here we go. So some nice little wallpapers on there. Oh, that one could be quite mean. Pretty good. Fine. Excellent. Any other input apps of note in here? Well, we've got the, sorry, let's go back here. What I'm looking for is there a specific app? Yes, there is, the Q Remote. This is for the iOS Blaster. So we've seen this before, but it's been reskinned. I do like the way, similar to the to HTC Sense now, and iOS 7 actually, the way that the colour of the app is bleeding into the status bar up here. I think that's really attractive. I like apps that do that. Really applauded HTC for that, so well done to LG as well. It's worth just seeing if there's any other apps. Let's go into the phone dialer. Again, that bleeds up here. That's done really nicely. Just a little bit too much Korean here for me to really use it comfortably. Another one of LG's apps, quite tight here. I mean, you've got a 5.5-inch display, and the tabs are this favourite there. I'm sure it should be favourites, and yes, there you go, it has to scroll across. So that's maybe something they could have thought of. In terms of task switching, we've got again a bit of an HTC-esque view on that. So we can, I'm assuming, choose apps. Can we swipe them away? We can't swipe them away like that. You swipe them away to the side. Okay, that's quite nice. And we've got this dual window, so let's have the internet, although we don't have an internet connection here, and messaging. And there we go, we've got we can run 2 apps at the same time. This sort of size screen, that makes a lot of sense. It's great. So quite happy with that. And we've got a clear all, so it's quite HTC-esque, the task switcher. Let's talk a little bit more about the feel in the hand. So it feels really light. I think it's about 155 grams or so, not 100% sure on that. It feels really light in the hand. Definitely really kind of nice to hold. It really doesn't feel like a 5.5-inch screen phone. It just feels a little bit smaller. It actually feels more comfortable to me than something like the Sony Xperia Z2, which of course only has a 5.2-inch screen, although it doesn't feel as comfortable as something like the Galaxy S5 with its 5.1-inch screen and the same similar sort of rounded shape. Still, I think first impressions are that LG have done a really good job here. No word on pricing or availability as yet. In terms of specs, we're talking about 5.5-inch QHD, that's 2560 by 1440 pixel display. We're talking up to a 2.5 gigahertz Snapdragon 801 processor. Now that makes me think that in some territories it'll be 2.3, some territories 2.5, no word on that from LG. We've got a 13 megapixel camera on the back with OIS Plus and laser autofocus, so I mean lasers, I really don't need to say anything else. We've got the 3000 mAh removable battery with wireless charging. Interesting, it's the same size as the G2 battery. We've got either 2 gigabytes of RAM with 16 gigabytes of internal storage, or 3 gigabytes of RAM with 32 gigabytes of internal storage. Again, don't know what's coming to the UK. All of the software features that we've looked at, and probably a ton more that we'll find out when we get one in for a full MoDaCo review. So there you go, there's a quick look at the LG G3. It's the first time I've really had to play with it as well, so I hope you've enjoyed that, and check out MoDaCo.com for a full review coming soon.